Hello, Earthlings. We meet again. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. I hope you're all having a great time, or as good as possible on planet Earth, wherever you happen to be. Here in Spain, it's getting on now. It's only 9:10. I'm going to bed in a minute. Tonight, I wanted to tell you a story. It's Friday night, story time. And the story came to my mind, really, because of looking at Harry and Meghan over the last couple of days and their remembrance thing they're trying to do, and how Harry looks ever more miserable and Meghan looks ever more stressed. And it's clearly visible, to me at least, it is clearly visible that this is far from a love story. And it reminded me of something that really hit my family really hard when I was little. My parents had two friends who were married, and they had three boys. Now, I'm going to change the names to protect the identity. They're all dead now, except for one. One of the boys is still alive. Let's call her Vera. And we'll call the man Derek. Well, Vera and Derek were very good friends of my mum and dad. They were so good that us girls called them Auntie Vera and Uncle Derek, obviously by their real names. They were as good as our aunt and uncle. And their boys, me and my sisters have always considered our cousins. Vera and Derek are long dead now, and of their three boys, only one lives. My favourite, the youngest, because that's who I grew up with, playing with. And Vera and Derek, right, they were really rich. We were the poor relations that would go and visit them and play with them. They always had the latest, coolest of everything. They had the biggest scale extras. They lived in a property in Sussex, out in the countryside, where basically they had the big house, and then they had what would have been stables, but they converted them into garages for their sports cars, DB6, Alfa Romeo Spider, Hispano Suiza, you name it. These guys had the latest and coolest. So, of course, my mother felt inferior to Vera because Vera had a mink coat. I know, fur coats, totally politically incorrect, but I mean, going back to the 60s and 70s. My father felt really inferior to Derek. Derek was an architect. Derek was, flying high. My father was a solicitor and was very much considered a servant of the rich, of the architects, of, the hoi polloi. My sisters and me, with the boys, we just didn't, we didn't care. We just played with them. And the age gaps were very similar. So my eldest sister was friends with their eldest boy. My next eldest sister was friends with their next eldest boy. And me, I was best friends with their youngest boy, who is the only surviving member of this family. And I used to love it. Quite often my parents would say, we're going to visit so-and-so, and we'd all groan and go, oh no, oh God, do we have to? But when it came to Vera and Derek, they'd say, we're going to go and visit the family. And we'd be like, yes, this is going to be fun. And they had motorbikes, they had quads, they had, you name it, they had it. They were great fun. And then when I was quite little, I suppose I would have been about 8 or maybe 8 years old. My parents said, we're going to go and visit Vera, just Vera, at the family big estate, like property in the countryside. And I thought, well, where's Uncle Derek? And they said, don't talk about Uncle Derek. So I thought, okay, I won't say anything. And my parents were with Vera, Auntie Vera, let's call her that. and both my sisters went off to play with their equivalents of our age group, and it was just me and the youngest boy, and he was very quiet, really quiet. And just instinctively, being young, I knew something was wrong. Something was very, very wrong. Anyway, we left, and as we left, I said to my parents, "Where's Uncle Derek?" And my mum said, "Don't ask." Shh. My sister said, "Shut up, Fiona." And my dad was like, I'll explain later, which he never did. But as I grew up, I found out the story that Uncle Derek had found another woman who looked a lot like Auntie Vera, but was younger and thinner. And that's the marriage had ended. And the thing is, they split up. They had this big divorce. They had lots of famous friends and illustrious friends who chose sides. And there became this big war. And my Auntie Vera, she never to her dying day really forgave Uncle Derek. But what Auntie Vera did do was she was very practical, and she made the most spectacular life for herself. I mean, Uncle Derek went off and he did his own thing, and he didn't do too bad. Don't worry about him. But Auntie Vera, even though she was devastatedly hurt by the whole thing, they sold the big house, and they sold all the sports cars, well, most of them. And there was a gardener's cottage, and she developed the gardener's cottage, and she made it like something that Jasper Conran would be so proud of, because the woman had style. I mean, total style. And she just made the best of what she had. She had her 3 boys. She basically brought them up by herself after Uncle Derek left. And she did the very, very best she did, and she did it in style. And I look at Harry and Meghan, and I just think, I can see the 2 of them look like they're fit to explode any moment now. Really, they're just they look so tense. Harry looks so miserable. What the hell was that stand-up comic, "I represent all gingers"? What the fuck? How far he's fallen. And I just can't see that. I can't see any way out of this marriage other than utter disaster. I mean, as I've already said, I do believe that they split up a long time ago. And I stand by that 100%. But I think back to Vera and Derek, and although that was a catastrophic situation, both of them made the absolute best of what they had and their lives. And they made a spectacular success of it. Whereas Harry and Meghan have got all these millions and their royalty, and they're just making a spectacular failure of it. I mean, they do. Both of them look to me as if they're about to explode in public any minute now. They're like a couple of grenades, like, come on, Harry, cheer up, Harry. What the fuck is that all about? I'm sure a lot of you guys have been through acrimonious split-ups, or things have happened in your life which bring you down. And basically, when life gives you lemons, you got to make lemonade, haven't you? And I do look back on Derek and Vera and those days as a child with great fondness, and I absolutely love both of them. They're both dead now, bless them, and my parents. But I really, they were flying high. I mean, we just never thought they'd come down. They were proper. Is it Icarus? Was it Icarus who flew too close to the sun? Vera and Derek, they didn't drink. They weren't drug takers. It was nothing like that. They were a very, very successful power couple and had so many celebrity friends. But even after the divorce, the immediate aftermath of the divorce, yes, they lost because people chose sides. But after that, they both built careers. And I just can't see Harry and Meghan doing anything. I just see it going from bad to worse to worse to worse to worse. And he's won the right to go to trial. Oh my God. Have you guys got any idea how much that's going to cost him? Have you got any idea? And the chances of him winning anything, I mean, my God, how to find a small fortune, bring a big one. That's the expression, isn't it? I mean, he's just going to get eaten alive. It's very interesting times. I think the build up to Christmas it's going to be very, very interesting to watch. What do you think? Look forward to hearing your thoughts and opinions on the subject. Have you ever known a Derek and a Vera? They were fabulous. There was a famous artist who painted pictures of them racing various cars round, was it Broadlands? Yeah, I think it was Broadlands racetrack. They were really up there. And then, like I say, after the divorce, they came right back down. But again, as I say, they made the best of life. And although they're dead now, looking back on their lives, they both had a spectacular time. Whereas Harry and Meghan, with all their resources, my God, I've never seen a couple have such a miserable time. Anyway, as always, look forward to hearing your free speech. Thank you very much for listening.